Oh my gosh, there's a guy in his, that is creepy. There's a guy in just his underwear up here.
They got it rotating up there on that pylon.
So all of a sudden, she just sat up, looked at the other side of the shelter, started growling, and then moved over that way. And that's when I followed her.
Most warning signs in the wild don't come with words, just a feeling that something isn't right. In Never Ignore Warning Signs while hiking, these moments were the only chance to turn back. Case number 1. On October 20th, 2025, in Pennsylvania, the wandering woodsman uploaded a video from the Valley View Trail at Middle Creek Wildlife Management Area.
It is a Monday afternoon, October 6th, I believe. Yeah, we just got back from our backpacking trip up in the Allegheny National Forest. That was a great time with the gang up there at Minister Creek. We're back in our home area here. We're at Middle Creek Wildlife Management Area. Just going for a shorter, more relaxed hike today up, I believe it's called the Valley View Trail. We've been up.
At first, it was a calm hike. The weather was warm, the trail was quiet, and he was alone in the woods.
Before, but I took it easy this morning. Let's just put it that way. Took it easy a little bit. We're gonna go for stretch our legs today. I gotta work on editing those videos from that trip. Did a bunch of things. Got some covered bridge videos done out there and some other things. Like a haunted cemetery too. So yeah, still it's a beautiful day. A little on the warm side for October, but that's gonna end soon. I think tomorrow's gonna be a little bit warm, and then this coming Wednesday, the highs are gonna be in the 60s for quite a while. I'm actually kind of looking forward to that. But yeah, we're gonna be on the Valley View Trail. There's a nice little viewpoint up here. Nothing like what we saw on Saturday. There's an overlook there on the Minister Creek Trail.
He walks up to the top and takes a short break on the rocks, enjoying the silence. Everything feels normal, too normal.
No, not really. Maybe 15 minutes of that to get to the top here. Yeah, I think this big rock here will make a nice little break spot. Yeah, I won't be sad when the little flying pests are gone. But yeah, you know, this is no Katahdin. This is no hiking, you know, backpacking in the national forest, but even these little hikes are good. You know, if this is all you can do, there's no problem with that at all. You know, just get out there and enjoy the outdoors. It doesn't have to be some big grand adventure. It can just be.
Then later, as he starts walking down the trail, something changes. He notices movement ahead. At first, it just looks like someone standing off the trail.
Drove by, mentioned that they were going to hike this trail, and we ended up just randomly building some shelters up here. I forget what me and the one built one over here somewhere. Everybody else was over here, but there's probably nothing left of them. Just kind of scanning the area. I think this is where we were. Somewhere in here. I think that was the last time I was up here. But now we start heading down. The long climb down. Oh my gosh, there's a guy in this, that is creepy. There's a guy in just his underwear up here. Well, that was unexpected. I'm not sure if you saw any of that on camera. I didn't want to.
But as he gets closer, he realizes something is very wrong. The man is barely wearing anything. He quickly looks away and keeps walking, but the image stays in his mind.
The film as I got closer, obviously, but just some dude, caught a glimpse of him. A little bit more than a glimpse. I mean, he was basically wearing, you know, a pair of.
The man does not speak. He does not move much either. He just stands there. As soon as the stranger notices him, he rushes to put on shorts, as if he were not expecting anyone to come.
Thongs for underwear. Literally. I mean, I saw full cheekage and a lot more than I wanted to see elsewhere. As soon as he saw me, though, he put on like a pair of shorts. I'm not sure what was going on there. That is a first for me.
That moment feels off. No words are exchanged, just silence as he walks past him.
I just walked right past him. I didn't say anything. Like, what in the world's going on there? I don't know. I thought this was going to be a nice little, let's go for a short little walk video, but oh boy. I'll just check the footage to see if you can see.
But the feeling does not go away. After passing him, he starts thinking about what just happened. Why was he standing there like that? Why so close to the trail? The questions begin to build.
Anything when I get home, but man, I kind of just want to get off this mountain now. I don't know, was he going to the bathroom? Or why would you have your shorts? He had his shorts completely off though, you know, like the shorts over his thongs. I'm not sure what's going on there. That's creepy. Let's get out of here.
The quiet forest now feels different. He keeps walking, but his pace gets faster. He even wonders if the man was waiting for someone or watching the trail.
This is, cheekage underwear. Like, what is going on? Like, then he saw me and quick ran for his shorts to put them on. So, like, what? I don't know. Was he taking a dump or? I don't know. But why would you do it right off trail there? I don't know.
Even small sounds start to feel louder. As he gets closer to the road, he looks back once more, half expecting to see the man again.
That's what made it. I think that's what made it creepiest the most to me. Like, why are you wearing something so skimpy like that? Just out here. I don't know. That was just. I just never saw anything quite like that on the trail. But yeah, that must be his truck right down there. The gray truck. So anyway, well, we're gonna let that go. Now I'm eager to get home and see the footage. Like, how much of that?
But the trail behind him is empty. Still, the feeling stays with him. By the end, he just wants to get out of the woods as fast as he can.
I think that'll be it for me, folks. Just about back to where I parked. The bugs are driving me nuts here at the end. And there's creepy, half-naked dudes in these woods. So I'm gonna head.
What started as a simple walk turned into something he could not explain. With that being said, let's move on to our next warning sign. Case number 2. On April 10th, 2025, he went camping at the Helendale RCS facility in the Mojave Desert. This place was known as the Lockheed Martin Skunk Works facility, a secret test site rumored to house UFOs. He set up his camp in the hills above the facility, hoping to see something strange overnight. He had his night vision goggles and a spotting scope ready. As the sun went down, more and more vehicles arrived at the facility, which he noticed around him soon.
Looks like another vehicle's arriving. It went in through the front gate and it's now driving down the test area. As the sun started to set behind the mountains, I got settled into my observation point for the night. First thing I noticed is that more and more vehicles were arriving as the sun was going down.
As darkness fell, things started to get weird. All of a sudden, a faint light appeared on the ground that he could only see with his night vision. He thought it was the hatch to an underground silo opening. Then, something crazy happened. A classified aircraft started to rise out of the ground on a pylon, rotating slowly. It was a radar cross-section test, something he never expected to see.
The first thing I noticed was a light appeared on the ground. It was too faint for me to see with the naked eye, but through my nods it showed up very bright. This was indicating to me that the hatch was most likely opening to the underground silo. Wow, this looks crazy. They got it rotating up there on that pylon.
He tried to film it even though it was almost a mile and a half away and pitch black. They had turned off all the lights on the runway, making it clear they didn't want anyone seeing this. He could just make out the shape of the craft, a nose and two vertical fins, and it seemed to be upside down.
Security truck down there making another pass. I don't know why they have their hazards on. Well, an aircraft just came up out of the hole. So it looks like they are going to do an RCS, radar cross-section test tonight. That's super cool. I honestly didn't think I was going to see anything, but here we are. If any video is going to get me accused of being a Chinese spy, it's going to be this one.
He stayed awake all night. Drones circled overhead for hours, making it impossible to sleep. He left the next morning, safe but shaken. He wondered if he'd get in trouble for filming what he saw, hoping his next video wouldn't be from a jail cell. Moving on to our third sign. Case number 3. On October 23rd, 2024, a man from the YouTube channel Man Dog Wild went on a solo camping trip with his dog, Yeti. What happened that night would make anyone think twice about camping.
Half decent spot right here. We can tie off to this tree. Poncho shelter down here, nice and flat. not too much brush or nothing, so...
He set up his poncho shelter in a beautiful woodland, expecting a peaceful night. But Yeti, his loyal dog, was acting strangely right away. She seemed wary and uncomfortable, constantly staring into the woods and refusing to go ahead like usual. It was as if she knew they weren't alone.
This will be. She's not liking something in that direction over there. That was the way we went through there earlier, and she didn't want to go in front. So she stopped. And now we're back here. This is where we're going to be setting up. She's kind of just staring in that direction. It's strange.
As darkness fell, Yeti's behavior grew more disturbing. She would bark and growl at nothing, her eyes fixed on something he couldn't see. He tried to make dinner, but Yeti's unease was constant.
There ain't nothing there. What is it? She insists that we go and check out this area. Well, Yeti, I don't see much to be shouting about, huh? Why aren't you going in front? You're always in front. Strange. She's always darting off ahead, but today she doesn't want to. That lizard has another lizard in its mouth. Ugh. It's clouding over. Maybe a little thunderstorm. What is it? Jesus. What's going on? So while Yeti's freaking out, I decided to cook dinner. I've got some chicken doner and some black olives. I was hoping they'd be pipless or seedless, whatever you want to call them, but they are not. Sad times. What's going on, Yeti?
She suddenly sat up, looking to the other side of the shelter, and started growling, making him feel a creeping dread. He even heard something himself, a sound that made him as paranoid as his dog.
What's the problem? What's the matter, huh? What are you unhappy about? So all of a sudden, she just sat up, looked at the other side of the shelter, started growling, and then moved over that way. And that's when I followed her. Quite frankly, Yeti, you're kind of freaking me out tonight. Okay? Yes. So we both heard something then. Now, the problem is, the fuck is that? Oh. Thought it was a snake.
The night was long and full of fear. Yeti kept barking and growling, especially once it was completely dark. At one point, she even bit through a guy line of his shelter, as if trying to bring it down.
Good morning. Good morning, my friends. It was a long night. The fun didn't stop for Yeti. She was up barking and growling a few times throughout the night. And don't know what was up with her. It seemed like as soon as it got dark yesterday, she was just almost changed mentality, right? Barking, growling. It freaked me out. So I think she's taking down the, a shelter. You taking down a shelter, Eddie?
When morning finally arrived, he discovered something truly chilling. Fresh footprints, not his own, were right by his camp.
And, that's not my track. And that wasn't there yesterday. So this is my track. This is not my track. See the different treads. Is there better ones? Look at this. See, that's not my tread.
They were clear and different from his boots, appearing exactly where they had slept. These new tracks explained everything. The growling, the barking, Yeti's intense focus on something he couldn't perceive. Someone had been there, close to their camp, while they slept.
Because I've always look for tracks on the way in to see who's been around. No one's been around. So that wasn't there yesterday. That may have been a reason. And that would explain a lot. See the tracks.
Yeti had smelled their presence, sensed their approach, even when he remained unaware.
What is it? See, coming through here, you can't lay down tracks because it's too hard. But she smells something. Hey, you may not be able to leave tracks down here, but...
It was a stark reminder that you should listen to your dog sometimes. Let's move on to our next sign for this video. Case number 4. On the foggy night of August 30th, in a quiet part of Wisconsin, a man went out for his usual evening walk with his dog. The air was thick with mist, and everything looked strange under the pale glow of his flashlight. He often walked this path, but that night the fog seemed heavier, almost like it was hiding something.
This is by far the worst fog. I don't care who you are, where you come from, what you want to say, but this is not normal and it's not okay. Because unless there's some new definition of fucking fog that I don't know about.
As he lifted his spotlight toward the trees, the beam caught a pair of glowing eyes deep in the fog. Then another pair appeared, and another. At least 4 or 5 sets of bright eyes were staring back at him from the dark woods. His dog froze, ears raised, trembling slightly as the man stood still.
Okay? I mean, look at this. The visibility is absolutely, I mean, it's horrible. Yep, here we are. Look at this. Well, I mean, what do you make of this shit, huh? What do you make of it? Look at that.
For a few long seconds, neither of them moved, but when the light touched the eyes directly, they vanished all at once, swallowed by the fog. The woods fell silent. No movement, no sound, not even the wind.
Fucking madness. And see, that's another thing what I don't like. See? It's like it's coming down, sideways, up and around. It's really weird. There you go. Here.
Feeling a chill crawl up his spine, he quickly called his dog and turned back toward home. The soft crunch of leaves followed behind them, faint but steady, until he reached his porch. When he finally looked back, the fog was still there, quiet, empty, and watching.
Look at that. Can't even fucking see.
That brings us to our fifth sign for this video. Case number 5. On January 12th, 2023, a man went hiking and stayed in a small wooden cabin in the mountains. The cabin was deep in the forest, surrounded by tall trees on all sides. Everything was quiet, but not for long.
The dogs are barking at something. Where? Over that way.
Late in the evening, around 5 p.m., he stepped outside with his dog. That's when things started to feel strange. His dog stopped walking. It didn't bark, growl, or run. It just stood still, staring at the trees ahead. The man looked in the same direction, but at first, he saw nothing.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, right there, look.
He pulled out his camera, trying to record what was happening. Then, between the tree trunks, he noticed a dark shape moving. It wasn't close, but it was clear something was out there. The figure didn't make much noise. It just moved slowly, almost like it was watching.
Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh yeah, right there, look. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? What the frick?
For 1 hour straight, the figure moved in and out of the trees. Every time he zoomed in, it seemed to step behind a trunk. He never got a clear look, but it was big, bigger than a person. And the way it moved, it didn't look normal. Maybe it wasn't just one creature, it was more than one. His dog stayed frozen, still staring. The man felt a chill run down his spine. He didn't hear any footsteps or growls, only the wind. But something was there.
What the frick?
He went back inside and locked the door. The trees outside looked peaceful again, but he knew something was creeping in the tree line. That night he didn't sleep. He wasn't able to sleep knowing that the creature might be surrounding his cabin. Case number 6. On February 25th, 2023, a TikTok user named Dulaney33 was hiking through the quiet, thick trails of the Appalachian Mountains. He thought it would be just another peaceful walk. Suddenly, things took a deadly turn.
Everybody that's never been in the mountains here in Appalachia.
As he walked through the woods, the path ahead looked safe. Just leaves, sticks, and dirt. Nothing unusual, but something wasn't right. Just off the trail, hidden in plain sight, was a timber rattlesnake.
Have here, you won't pronounce it. I'll show y'all something. Look, now look out there. It looks safe to walk right through there. No problem, don't it? Check this out. I'm gonna walk. Just tell me when you see it. Tell me when you see it. You see it yet?
The camera zoomed in. The snake's tail, body, and head were there, blending in perfectly with the ground. One step in the wrong spot, and it could have ended in a bite that can be fatal without fast help. The snake didn't move, it just waited, still as stone. One wrong move, and it would have struck.
Let's look. Right there in that stick. He's right there. There's his tail. There's his body. There's his head. Y'all be careful walking around these woods. And I work in them. Just be careful.
Thanks to the hiker's sharp eyes, he noticed it just in time. He backed away slowly, his heart pounding. What looked like a calm path almost became a deadly trap.
Y'all be careful walking around these woods. And I work in them. Just be careful.
The mountains are beautiful, but they hide silent dangers. This moment caught on camera was a reminder. In the wild, 1 second of carelessness can change everything. Case number 7.
Oh, look, right there, right there.
On August 27th, 2019, in the Utah mountains, from Chasing Shadows YouTube channel. He and his partner were driving through the quiet Utah mountains, just enjoying the day. The road was empty, the forest thick on both sides. Then she suddenly said,
"Around this corner, I think. Like right here somewhere."
Oh, look, right there, right there. Stop, stop, stop. Back up, back up. It was right there. I just saw it.
Gosh.
He slowed the car. Her voice sounded serious. He backed up slowly, unsure of what she saw. At first, he saw nothing. But then between 2 trees, something dark was standing still. Not a rock, not a shadow. It looked like something was watching them. Tall, broad shoulders, covered in thick hair. The figure didn't move, didn't blink, just stared.
Off the road.
The fear hit. It wasn't a man, it was too big, and it didn't run like animals do when they're spotted. It just stayed there. They recorded it, hoping the camera could catch what their eyes saw. Was it Bigfoot?
Around this corner, I think. Like right here somewhere.
Oh, look, right there, right there. Stop, stop, stop. Back up, back up. It was right there. I just saw it.
Gosh.
He didn't wait to find out. He pressed the gas and left fast. But sometimes he wonders, what if it followed them after they drove away? And what if it's still there, standing between the trees, watching the next person who stops to look? For more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button and like this video. Comment below which case you find the most horrifying. Don't forget to press the bell icon for future notifications. Stay safe out there.